What's up, guys? This is the second episode of Dream and Talk. I'm Jakharien Barnes. My co-host Cameron Johnson is not being present in this episode, but he got me, so we're gonna kick it off. I'm gonna give an overview of, kind of like a little summary of last week's episode. Last week's episode was really an introduction. That's genuinely what it was. We introduced ourselves. We introduced what us as a podcast would be doing. We introduced what does Dream of Life mean and what it actually stands for. We went through the code of ethics of Dream of Life, the acronym, all of that. So I want y'all can all go to YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all the platforms to go stream and watch it. Yes, it's not video, it's audio, but it would definitely be a great thing if y'all go check that out. For the YouTube, y'all can go subscribe and comment, like, all of that, share, just get my views up and get this positive thing going that we're trying to do, because that's all it is. And go on Spotify to stream. So, but we're gonna start it right. We're gonna start it right now. We ain't gonna waste no time. Let's see. Now, right now, what today's episode will be about, I'm gonna give an overview of this. Today's episode will be discussing life as a teenager. I know being a teenager is kind of like that odd patch in life when you're an infant, a child. You know, it's okay, it's innocence, but then you get the adult where you're kind of going through a lot, and then you're trying to balance responsibility. But kind of when you're a teenager, you know, you're in your adolescence. You know what I'm saying? You're learning responsibility. I say when you're a child, you don't have responsibility. Then teenager, you start learning them, and adult, that's when you have to start executing those responsibilities. That's how I see it, and that's how it really is. And yes, and also I would be discussing teenage life as a black man, rather brown, what indoctrination you wanna call it, as an African American. That's what I would be talking about today. Let's see, some challenges I've faced in my teenage years, whether it's peer pressure, expectations, stuff like that. Not much peer pressure. I'm not more of the guy to get peer pressured into doing anything. I'm one of the guy that goes on my own path. First of all, I don't like listening to anybody, so I think that kind of ties into why I don't get peer pressure. Maybe expectations a lot, but I take expectations to the chin with my chin out and my chest up high, because you know I like expectations, because I have a lot of expectations for myself. You know, I try to set myself to a high standard, so I thrive for not thrive, but I really expect my family and friends and whatever to hold me at a high standard and have expectations for me, because they know my potential and I know mine. So yeah, but if it had to be a bad event or anything like that, I would probably, tying it to a race thing, I would probably say the situation I had at the rec center that I did talk about in the first episode. You know, I'm not gonna really call it a race thing, because I kind of was at fault, if you think about it, because of my behavior. But you know, I don't think 6 police officers is needed to de-escalate a situation with just me. At the time of me being 16, I don't think that was good. You know what I'm saying? Not saying 6 people were detaining me. It was only one, but I don't think 6 people were needed to evacuate everyone else out the building and ask me a bunch of questions, what they had no right to do and things of that nature. So I think that's probably the one that just ties the race a lot. That definitely had to play a part in that, you know. And now I think back at it, and I'm like, why 6 of them though? It was a real eerie situation. You know, I think it's one of those situations that I kind of don't remember a lot, because you know everything happened so fast, but I remember it, and you know that's it. But I can go to, to lighten up the situation, to joy and achievements. I've achieved a lot in life. You know, not a lot, not most of it that I want to, because I haven't achieved anything that I personally want for myself, because I'm nowhere near done. But as a child to adolescence years that I'm in now, I think I've done okay. I'm not the type of person to just be satisfied over something simple. I'm a guy. Like I said, I have high expectations for myself, so I'm nowhere near where I want to be, and I don't think I'll be there anytime soon, because I got there. I got it really high, and I will get there. I have that type of potential and resilience that where I know I'm gonna get there. But yeah, joy. I enjoy every day. I think, like they always say, enjoy being a kid, because once it's gone, you're gonna want it back. And I'm enjoying being a teenager right now, because I know those times is gonna be, kind of gone when you get your graduation. Yeah, you're still a teenager, but technically in society, since you're still you're an adult. So yeah, I think I'm trying to enjoy it the most I can. Have fun. I'm a very gullible guy. You probably can't see it now because I'm recording, but I like to play around. I like to really make other people feel good while I'm feeling good. Joking around, all those things. Yeah. What role does my family? We can jump into what role my family and community has on me. The role my family plays is a big one, and I think that plays a lot to everybody's. I was blessed to have I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have a very supporting family, a very all-knowing family who really cares about me and who really knows, the ins and outs of life. And so they try to instill it in me as much as they can. And even sometimes that might come off as I'm not listening, but I'm listening. But as a teenager, you have those kind of mindsets where you go off yourself, and I'm in that mindset now. It's like it's my way or no way, and I feel like it'll forever stay like that, because whatever I put my mind to, it's gonna happen. So I try my hardest to at least listen to the people I trust. You know what I'm saying? I don't really listen to the people I don't really take liking in or respect. Because I don't really trust their word. But I listen to my family because I trust their word. Who are the ones who's really trying to shape me up to be somebody. Community wise, I don't know. I think community is a little iffy with me, because not saying I grew up in a bad place. I didn't. I think it was okay. It was the country pretty much. But I can say now, not really, because I don't really know any of my neighbors or anything like that as far as a community thing. But I think community is important. I don't think community just meaning like neighborhoods or things like that, just environmental things. Maybe I can just say the people I'm around, like family wise, that's probably what I would call a community, because I'm not from the hood. I'm not from an urban area. I'm from a country area where some stuff would pop off a little bit, but sometimes it wasn't. It was some days you would catch it, it'd be peaceful. Some days it's like, oh, what's going on? So I think I had in the middle, like the best of both worlds, if that makes sense. I think, and that was a good thing, because I get to see how things could be positively and how it could be negatively, and not just one or the other, and just all day, every day. So I think, it was good for that. And I appreciate the communities I was raised in a lot, because of course, environments and people you're around shape who you are. Excuse me. Okay. We're gonna get into some cultural influences that we go on in the Black community. Culture plays, I was gonna say, like, one of the components. It is the big component. Culture influences play such a big role in the Black community. Not even only the Black community, just in teenage community, just as a human race in general. Any influence they affect a person, because we're in a day and age where social media is a big outlet. Everyone uses it and everyone follows trends. They follow people who they have liking towards. And I'm not the type of person, because I don't have social media. Cam mentioned it last episode. I can get into why I don't do it, but I'm gonna just stay on track. Yeah, cultural influences. I mean, I'm gonna touch in on the black community because I can speak for that. We idolize a lot of rappers, a lot of Instagram models per se, a lot of just influencers. I got a lot of people who create content, who make money, and who's done well with themselves. Not to get me wrong, because I'm not bashing them. You getting your money, so go get it. But it's on the people on the down level side, to where it's like the idolization who up here. Like, I want to be up here, so they do so much in a bad way to go get there. If you see a rapper, wears skis and holds guns all the time, flexing his money, doing all these bad things in the streets, and you get people I grew up with, well, not grew up, but growing up with now currently, who are doing the same thing, and it's a sad thing, because sometimes the people are not even like that. They're not. I know a couple of people who didn't grow up like that, who are not really deep down like that. I respect the people who are really deep down like that, and who really, play no games. Most people, it's a character, it's a facade that they're playing. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Really, me personally, people who play like they're in the streets, who really just emotionally damaged men, young men at that. They're emotionally damaged because either their father wasn't there, their mother wasn't there, on drugs, strung out, anything like that, had have mental issues, and that they feel like that they can't vocalize to their people or anything like that. Bullying can be one thing that they're dealing with, so they just turn to something else that they feel like that they have to do, and that ties to peer pressure. I feel like peer pressure is the next thing close to complacency. I just feel like it. I think I would never understand it, because I've never been, like I said, I've never been a person to be indulged in peer pressure or being the one activating it. I'm not really that guy. I'm a guy. I stay true to me. I do me, and I want you to do you. You know what I'm saying? Whether you doing bad in life and you choosing the wrong things, or whether you doing good. You know what I'm saying? I know I mind my business, because I got to do me. I got to worry about myself. And it may come off as selfish, but it's just a mindset that I have. Not saying I don't care about everybody else, but at the end of the day, nobody's gonna really listen to you but yourself. Yeah, you just gotta catch on to that. And nobody's gonna listen to yourself but yourself. You gonna do what you want to do. So yeah, music, like I said, with rappers, music is a big thing in our culture, because really we created the culture. And when I say music, when I say music and it's coming from a black individual, the first thing is gonna pop up is rap. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good thing. It's good and a bad thing, but good rap is a beautiful thing. It hit 50 years last year, but rap also has some negative things. Rap has people idolizing gangsterism, or people have idolizing murders. You know what I'm saying? You get, a genre of rap, which is drill, and they're confessing to murders on songs. You know what I'm saying? Like the King Vons, the Dirks, the Young Boys, all of that. Even though I'm guilty of listening to those people. So I'm not gonna sit here and bash anybody who does. I can take accountability, because I'm a young man of that. I indulge in accountability and integrity, but I have more sense enough to be like, I can't do that. And another thing, I don't know that life. I didn't grow up in those rural places to where it's just like downright bad, So it's kind of like I don't really, I can't really see it because I didn't live it. And then of course I have sense enough. I don't live that life. That's not good. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't raised that way. You know, but everyone's raised different. I think it all derives from parenting. You know, it derives from parenting, environmental things, and yourself. Right? We can blame it on parenting right now. We can blame it on environmental things, and the one that's gonna stick out the most is you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta want better for yourself. You're making the decisions. No one's making decisions for yourself. Even if it's peer pressure, don't let anyone peer pressure you into doing something. You know what I'm saying? It's you at the end of the day. You came in this world by yourself, and you're gonna leave by yourself. Simple. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna make decisions by yourself because you know what you want. You can't decisions can't be just brought into something just because somebody told you to do something. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it is like that, whether, you know, I can't say that because peer pressure has definitely been around, but I'm so strong-minded that I just deny it. But sometimes it can be somebody if you're not strong enough mentally, and you're like, man, I can't do this. And so you like, I'm going to do what he say. I'm going to do what she say because if I don't know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? If it gets to that point. Yeah. I think role models play a big role in our lives as well. Not only as black men or black women, but as humans in general. I think we all need role models. We talked about role models last week, or people who we looked up to. And I brought up Pop, and I brought up Huey P. Newton or Malcolm X. I brought up those three guys because those three are literally the guys I look at them and I can actually see them as someone I want to be like, really. And it kind of ties to idolization. Like I said, I don't really experience it because I'm just a little wired different than everybody else. I don't really take liking to the straight gangsterism or fake gangsterism. That's really what it is, but nowadays, you know what I'm saying? So role models definitely plays a big part, and definitely plays a big part in my life because it kind of shaped me who I am. You know what I'm saying? Role models really start when you're a little child. You know what I'm saying? And those first role models are gonna be your mom and dad, if you have them, either or both. You know, it's your mom and dad because those are the first people you look at as an adult, and you're like, okay, I want to be like that. I think that's what all issues derive from, because your first role model is your parents, right? So just say your parents are like not good people, you know, strung out on drugs, industries, you know, in and out of jail, and you fast forward to life, you're making these bad decisions, you're doing these things just because of the simple fact that you were hurt because of what your parents did. That's it. And you really doubt that was all you know, right? That's all you know. And it's sad because I don't want to be the type of person to be like, oh man, that's all I know, right? Sometimes I think that when I bring up writing or this clothing brand that I have, just creating in general, sometimes I catch myself be like, man, that's all I know. Like, I don't have no choice to do it. I really don't, because I've seen it. Like, this is my purpose. What I'm gonna do in life, like the foundation I'm doing now is what I'm gonna do in life. And I'd have no choice to do this because I've seen it. My purpose, this is it. I don't have no other outlet. If it's not this, it's nothing. Simple. And yeah. So I just feel like all minds have to be that way, if that makes sense. I feel like you should want so much for yourself where you run yourself ragged every day. Oh, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Okay, I'm gonna do that. You just gotta keep, well, just because that's how my mind works. My mind is everywhere. Like, I can tell you, my mind is easily over 10 years ahead because I'm just planning constantly every day. I'm planning books, 10 years from now. I'm planning clothing that I'm gonna do. I'm planning everything because I'm a planner. Like my mind, I like to lay out things because I like to plan ahead. Because you never know, what can happen. You never know when your day is. So that's what I try to do. I try to do my best to lay out those foundations, to lay it out, and lay out the real map of what I'm finna do and execute in the future. Because right now is just the start. I'm nowhere where I want to be, and I've written over 25 books. They could be novels, comics, or poem books. This is the second episode of my podcast. I just dropped my second drop for my clothing brand. I got more stuff that's coming on the way. This is just a start. This isn't me being in the middle. This is just a start. I have so many big plans, and I don't really like to share my plans because you never know who's listening, and you never know who wants to prey on your downfall or anything like that. So that's why I hold them really tight. But I'm sharing it with y'all because I rock with y'all, and I know y'all rock with me, and y'all know that I'm a real mindful person, and this is a mindful channel. This podcast right here is really going to change a lot of people's perspective just on life and anything, because all that we are about is positivity. That's all we want to talk about. Yeah, we can laugh and joke around over here, but really the main focus is that, it's just building up, and pushing out that dream of life. That's all it is. I'm telling you, dream life, it runs through my veins. It does. It runs through it. How, like I was just saying, with past generations, how do they affect the youth? I just said it about the parent thing. They affect them so much because family is like the first thing that you see. When you're a child, that's the only people you see is family, right? Because you don't start getting school friends until you hit kindergarten. Not even that, you know what I'm saying? Because you just going bouncing back and forth from school to home. I say it really starts when you start getting friends in school around that third, fourth grade. Around that third, fourth grade, that's when you're really conscious of, okay, this is my friend, this is my friend. I don't like him, I don't like her. I'm going to follow him, do what he say. I'm going to follow her, do what she say. That's when that starts kicking in. Yeah, it just starts with wanting to be everyone's friend. And I was once at that point. I was once a kid. This be surprising because most people probably look at me now, they're like, man, he don't like be nobody's friend. You know what I'm saying? He don't like nobody. But back then, I wanted to be everybody's friend. I was a friendly kid, friendly chubby kid, but that's because I wasn't mindful, and that's because, confidence was not there. And I know I'm talking about confidence for a third, fourth grader, but I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? When you're obese and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying, you kind of want to fit in, and I was one of those guys who wanted to fit in, but I also was smart, and I also was taught, don't follow what everyone else is doing. Don't do that. So that's what it is. When I look at generations from my family, I'm actually proud of them for the most that I've known. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that it was just so high, you know what I'm saying? There's also ups and downs, but I think I respect more is the resiliency and the redemption aspects of, my generation's lives, or past family members, or family members now. When I look at my mom or my dad, then they've overcome things, you know what I'm saying? And that's really instilled in me, and that's just now, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, can't nothing stop me. Nothing. The only thing that can really stop me is death. But even then, what I'm doing will live on, because I'm going to forever be present. Just me. That's all I say. Can't nothing stop me, whether it's sickness, anything, a person saying something bad about me. If I run into an issue with creativity-wise, if I'm trying to push out something that's not working, I'm going to keep going, because that was instilled in me. And that's just the ambitious heart and mind that I got. I'm like, yo, I got to do this, and I'm finna work this out. And I feel like generations help with that a lot. So, and the youth can't really help their generations because of course it's past. But you can overcome it. You can try to do better. You can like, okay, I'm gonna pave my own road. I'm gonna do me. But sometimes you gotta want it for yourself. Like I said, you gotta want for self and do for self. But some people are not that in tune with themselves to do that. And that starts with just getting your mind right, getting your body right, wanting to do more for yourself and not do it for others, not do it for family members, not doing it for friends who are not really your friends, who just really want to see you down. Do it for you, because the only person who's really going to care about yourself is yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a tough thing, you know? So, all I say is, if you come from a good generational family, good, kudos to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I can say mine was a good one. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it was strictly perfect, because it was not. But I appreciate it because it showed me, like I said, when it comes to community, it would show me the good and it showed me the bad. If you come from a bad generational family, anything, please overcome it. Know right now that you can overcome it. If you come from a family who dwelled in problems, who had nothing but, bad energy around them, try to overcome it. Try to do better. Try to be like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. That's the person I was as a kid. I can remember so many times as a child, like I would just look around Troy. I would look around Troy and I'm like, I see crackhead over there. I just see bad things around. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I gotta get out of here. And I've promised myself, and I'm single digit in age, every bit at that time. So I'm like, yo, I gotta get out. Like, so what I'm doing now has been plotted. It's been plotted, and it has been setbacks, but all of this, it's been time. And so soon, I hope I can get the opportunity to get out, and I get that opportunity to just grow as a person and grow in what I want to do in life, as a career, as a purpose. Because right now at 17, you can think that you have all the time in the world, but you don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I made it past 16, because most of the time black males don't go that far, and I've seen twice that my life has been at stake where I was like, man, it might. One time, like, I almost thought like I was gonna be dead, and one time I almost thought, hey, I can be going to jail, you know. And so I'm just grateful that I made it out those situations. But yeah, it's the harsh truth in our world when it comes to being African American. Man, you lucky you make it past 16. And every year, like, I'm not the type of person to ask for gifts, like birthdays. I'll just be glad that I made the next age, because you never know what can happen, especially with the generation I grow with. They involved in so much of these fake street stuff with guns and things of that nature, and that's not cool. Street people don't really like when they do that. You're not supposed to brag about what you're doing in the streets. You're supposed to be getting out. You see what I'm saying? That's what most of the real, OGs used to say. It says, because they wanted to get out, so they don't celebrate it. These people now, they celebrate it because they want to be in. It's a difference. The people now want to be in. The people back then wanted to get out. And it ties back to idolization. The people now, they see and they saw so much, whether it was social media, whether it was a father, an uncle, a cousin, or anything like that. They saw that person, and that's all they probably saw. It was like, okay, I gotta be in the streets. Yeah, I want to be like that, because he's my role model. My brother, my big brother, that's my role model. I know a lot of people who just tend to follow the wrong trends, tend to follow doing what they feel like they have to do, in which you don't have the obligation to be in the streets. You know what I'm saying? The streets don't got no heart. You know what I'm saying? They can take anybody if they wanted. You can take everybody if they wanted to. They take anybody every day. It don't care who it is. I can be in the streets and they can take me and I'm not even in it. That's how it is. It's just innocent. It's innocent bodies and it's guilty bodies being dropped. And that's how it is. I hate it got to be that way, because it don't have to be, but it's tough. I'm going to jump to the aspects of being black when it comes to police. We live in a world now where police brutality, police killings towards black individuals is so common. I remember 2020, you had the George Floyd situation, you had the Breonna Taylor situation, and you had many more. Please forgive me if I don't know their names. Rest in peace to all of them and who's been murdered by the police. But it's very common. I remember at one point when you watch the news, especially with me, when they would just report it, it felt so common to me. So common. Like, it felt so common to how, you know how Montgomery, Alabama is like the roughest place you want to go. That's how, and you hear about shooters there. That's how common it was. That's how it was with police killings. It was that common, which is, now look back, now it was that's a bad thing, how common that was. And not saying it's not, you know, because I'm speaking on the past tense, it still is. You might not hear about it now because more, I think, is what's more happening is school shootings, and we can get to that. But to stick on track with the police stuff, I think I will never understand why the police do what they do to a black man, to a black woman. You know, I wish I did have an answer. I wish I had a lot of answers to a lot of things, but, you know, I think sometimes in life you're not going to get the answers you want. You're going to go to the grave just still questioning what you was wanting to know. You know, fear aspect really takes a big part of it, of fear. I don't know what that fear is when they see us. You know, a lot of people, I think it is kind of like a power imitation that we have, that, you know, we're very strong individuals, really. You know what I'm saying? When we put our minds and stick together. And that's something that we lack. You know what I'm saying? Us as black people, we're not together. And, you know, with Dream Life, like Cam said last episode, is hope. And that's my goal with Dream Life, is to bring everybody together. You know what I'm saying? To really have some regulation around this world. Because right now it's in a bad place. It's in a bad place. And I just really, I'm an advocate for change. So that's what I want to do. And I won't be on the front lines. But I'm only on the front lines for the people who want to do better like me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you screaming dreaming life when you out here, you know, getting arrested, or you carrying guns and just playing in these streets when you really not like that. I don't want you across me. I don't want you around me, no, none of that. Because really, I can't respect you. You see what I'm saying? Carry yourself in a better way, because we already looked at as bad, so you just added to it. Black people play victim so much when they say, oh, police just killing us, or people being racist to it, they're looking at us different. That's because when we go in public, we acting a fool. When we go in public, we wearing ski masks. When we go in public, we got the 9 right on our hip or in our pocket. We got everything on us that's still playing into all those stereotypes. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a good thing. It's not. Because really what you have to do, you got to change that narrative that they have. You got to change it. You got to start carrying yourself in a better manner. You got to start, you know, dressing more, you know, applicable to, not to their liking, but to your liking, to where you think you're looking presentable. You know, wearing super skinny jeans and a Nike Tech is not going to help you. Not going to help you get a job. You know what I'm saying? You got dreadlocks where you can't see, where a person can't see your face. You're not going to make it in life, because they're going to look at you as a threat. They're going to look at you as you just up to no good. So you just got to really present yourself in a way as a king and a queen, like how we originally were before we were brought here. That's how we was. You know, us as Africans, we were kings and queens. We had power. And now you get us in America and we don't have anything. That's simple. Like, I look at our community and really, I'm going to just say, and I look at our community, I look at the people I'm growing up with now who are just indulging in these traps, who thinking they got to play hard, who they got to just do all these bad things. They really make me, before I say this, I love who I am. I love the color of my skin. I love the community I am, because it is a great community, right? Because we're very empowering, and we got to empower each other. But, man, some days I'll be like, man, can I not be black for like today? Or why I gotta be a part of something associated with them? Why I gotta be looked at like that? And because they're making our people look bad. It's simple, but it's been around for so long. But I just feel like it's at its height now. It's at its height now, you know. And not to just, and it's both genders. It's male and female, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, with the males, they like to play in the streets. They like to be hard. They like to carry the guns. They like to do this. They like to do that. And they like to act a fool. They think, and sometimes the only thing they do, they like, man, I'm rapping or I'm going to the league. And that's not the only outlets that you have in life. That's not. I don't really get it because there's so much stuff that you can do here, bro. Like me, I want to be a writer. I want to be in film. I want to be in television. But at one point, around 9th grade, 10th grade, I'm like, man, I'm hooping. Well, I said this last episode, I did. I'm like, I'm hooping. But I wouldn't say I was peer pressured into doing it. I just have love for the game. Right? And if you had a love for the game, don't think I'm bashing you for what you want to do. But rapping or going to the league is presented to us as that's all we do. You see what I'm saying? If we got a lot of change, like, you know me, like I have jewelry, but I'm not no rapper. I ain't got no rapper money. You see what I'm saying? I'm 5'10". I'm not going to the league. I ain't growing no more. I'm 17. You see what I'm saying? That's the type of truth you gotta have with yourself. And with girls, I just feel like all genders is at a bad place. But I feel like, man, it's gonna be worse for girls. It's gonna be worse because when it tied back to rappers, when you get the Sexy Reds or the Glorillas or the City Girls and people like that, not bashing their talents because they may have really good talents. They may have really good talents. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Kudos to them for getting their money and really pushing out their talents. But it's the future that you got to worry about. You know what I'm saying? It's so many girls who look up to Sexy Red. And these little girls that's coming up now who is hearing this on the radio, who is hearing this on the TikTok and the Instagram, they're going to act just like her. 5, 6, 7 years old. They're seeing it now. When they hit about 16, 17, they're going to be indulgent in unprotected sex. They're going to be indulgent in looking like Sex Red, having their privates out, everything like that. And to tie it back to males, I think they do that because that's what we ask. Well, not necessarily saying that's what we ask for. That's what we praise. We praise a girl who got a big butt and big breasts. We praise that. We praise girls who look like a doll with all the makeup. We praise the girls with the multicolored hair and the weave. We praise the girls who act really ratchet and who has some attitude, opposed to the girls who have class. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to the girl who keep herself in shape instead of having to go to get surgery and has a nice natural body. We as men, we can't tell a girl, hey, if you don't get this little surgery, man, I can't mess with you real quick. You know what I'm saying? If your toes and your nails ain't done, man, I ain't messing with you. Like that's not smart. I've never been that type of guy. Now I've been a guy to indulge. Of course, I'm gonna be accountability man. Like I'm a man. Of course I won't like, the big butt and the breast, but that's not all that plays into aspects of a woman. That's into honoring women. That's not, you know what I'm saying? Body is not everything, but also body and appearance is not everything, like I said, but also it's not a small component. A lot of people say that it does not matter. I'm gonna just say that does matter. I'm sure that no one's gonna date someone that is, I'm not gonna say ugly, but it's not attractive to them. Nobody's gonna do that. You're gonna date somebody who you feel attracted to or who you feel like is well-minded and not someone who's, you know what I'm saying, who can't pass tests a lot and who act a fool in the streets. You can't do that. So, yeah, it's both sides is messed up. I can't really pinpoint if there's gonna be a change. I can't do that. I wish it would change, because I think if we can get that to change, if we can get those narratives to change, if we can get everyone to act accordingly, look accordingly, stop this idolization of these bad things, then the unifying can happen. Then once the unifying happens, then the change can happen, and then we can all be a good peace. We can have our own, right? Because right now we don't own anything. The only thing we own, the only generational thing that's passed on us is the picking of the cotton. That's the only thing, right? That's the only thing we get. That's the only inheritance we get. Um, White individuals or whatever indoctrinations they call themselves, they inherit wealth because they had their generations made money because they don't care about the slavery. They've moved past on that because then they moved past and so they got their business. So they're doing that. Jewish individuals, they're past the Holocaust. You don't see Jewish people speaking about the Holocaust because right now, because they passed it, they went to go get their business and now they're making money. You see what I'm saying? We're not doing that. All of our problems is still dwelling in the slavery because why? Either we're falling for victim or we're getting constantly reminded by news, by these history books that's not even telling the real truth that we were once slaves and we're gonna stay that way, which is not true. I feel like if we really unify and we can make some change, we can go get our own, right? With me, with my clothing brand business, with my writing, with everything. Right now I own all of my stuff. I don't plan to have no partnership with nobody. I don't plan to do anything because this is gonna be my own. This is gonna be black owned. And I plan to have that for generational wealth. I plan that for everybody who will be around me and everybody who's not around me. And that is of the African American descent. To go get your own and to go make your own money and don't sit under somebody. And it's okay sitting under somebody because guess what? You got to follow the master. You got to understand, analyze what that person above you is doing, analyze, then come back, plot, and go do your own. Go do your own, right? It's okay. It's okay. Play your part right now. If you at a spot right now where you feel like you stuck and you feel like you're not gonna make it out, just be patient. Play your part. Play your part. Right now, I'm real small time. And that's okay with me because right now, I'm doing a lot of stuff that a lot of people aren't doing at this age. I don't know. Well, I'm going to take that back. But what I was finna say, but I'm not doing a lot that a lot of people's doing right now at my age. I'm not. A lot of people are either dwelling in other stuff. Like I grew up around people who dwell in drinking or smoking and vaping and all that stuff. I don't like that. I don't drink. The only thing I drink is water. And if it's not water, is fruit and water, little smoothie type, icy type thing. Like I don't indulge in none of that because I told myself at a young age, hey boy, you ain't doing that. Just like with the career paths I'm doing, or just making it out of the city of Troy I'm in. Hey, you getting up out, right? I feel like everybody gotta have that for themselves, but some people feel so trapped. They feel like they gotta do this. Like you don't have to. Get up, dust yourself off, go get your own. Go get it. Let's see. Like I said, with this is an interesting topic right here. Common psychological issues and social issues. I think psychologically and socially, we have the biggest issues out of all races. As teenagers and as black individuals. I'm going to stick on the teenager part right now because right now we are in a world where mental health is definitely at a high rate of suicide, whether it's suicide attempts or whether it's suicide like completed actions. Um, they try to raise a lot of awareness for it, and you know, mental health is definitely important on all spectrums when it comes to teenagers because that's when we catch it the most. Especially today's age with social media, you can have cyberbullying, in-school bullying, uh, comparison to someone you're seeing online. Like I say all the time, comparison is a killer all joy. If you compare yourself to someone that you've seen online, it kills your spirit. It kills your spirit because you don't love yourself now. You like, man, I gotta be like her. I gotta be like him. Like I said, it's a facade that it's a illusion that's just trying to trap us in. That the algorithm is trying to put us in. That America is trying to put us in. It's just a trap, and it's a continuing cycle. And I'm trying to break that cycle because I don't see nobody online and be like, oh, I want to be like them. I got to be strictly like them. No, I'll be like, okay, I see what he did. I appreciate where he at. Let me do me and still get to that point. And I feel like if it was with girls see other girls and like, ooh, she thick, or she, you know what I'm saying, she got all the men, she's got all the nice dresses and clothes. They feel like they got to go do that. Now, especially time to black women, all I see, they got eyelashes flipping up to their forehead. They got weave going all the way down to their butt. I don't get it. I don't get it. And then you got boys who feel like dreadlocks is the next thing that they got to do. And knowing now, at one point, dreadlocks was a beautiful thing for black people because it showed that we can grow our hair out as long as these white people can. But now it's associated with just thug activity or just any bad activity. You're looked at it a different way. Because me, I'm a person who've had dreads. You're looked at it a different way. Trust me. And now with me having a regular haircut, you know what I'm saying? I love both hairstyles. I didn't cut it off for that reason. It was a component, but still. So yeah, I don't think I'll ever understand it. Why people compare and contrast. It's a thing in life. I feel like everybody wants to be like somebody, right? Everybody wants to be like somebody. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I've never wanted to be like somebody because I have. You know what I'm saying? When you see basketball, when you see LeBron or Jordan, you like, man, I want to fly like him. Then you go outside and you bust your ass. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to be like that. Or, but I can say some positive people I want to be like my role models I had, like Pac or Huey P. Newton or Malcolm X. I want to be like those guys. Not saying I want to be copy and paste because those guys are great and they right. I just want to be the best version of me, taking the game that they was putting out. You know what I'm saying? They was laying the blueprint. All these people before me, they were laying blueprint. Now I'm finna build this stuff. Promise you. Like, you can mark it today. I'm gonna do what I'm saying I'm gonna do. You can look at this 10, 20 years from now. You like, oh my God, Young Jay is talking right now. Because I am, like I said, I'm always 10 years. I'm bound about 2 years ahead. 10 years, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that comes to bite me in the butt a lot because I'm so ahead and I'm just never in the present. And I'm like, man, focus up. But I'm trying to focus, but I'm like, I can't. I keep getting tied up to the future. And, it's a crazy thing. So that's my spill on it. I feel like I think all of this comes from just loving yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself for who you are, who you were born as. You know what I'm saying? Love who you want to be. If you feel like you are a male and you want to be, effeminated, go do that. If you feel like you are a woman and you want to be masculated, go do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to love you for who you are. I'm not a person who discriminates. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that because I just feel like that's unnecessary to judge somebody who they want to be. Who you want to be. A lot of people these days, they worry about so many other people. Like, worry about yourself. Mind your business. Do you. Like I tell everybody, I'm going to do me, so you do you. I ain't tripping off nothing what you got going on. I got to worry about myself. Because at the end of the day, if I worry about you and I'm left behind, oh, I can get caught lacking. I can get caught behind. And now I'm stuck in a city that I done grew up in. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about everybody else. And that's another thing that we tend to do a lot, especially nowadays with my people I grew up with. They worry about the wrong thing. Worry about the wrong thing but themselves. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I might get caught up in it. Not to the extent that they do, but I'm just saying I'm tying myself in because I don't want to looked at as being like I'm just itty bitty perfect. No, I'm not perfect. Being perfect is not achievable. Period. Even though I thrive to be perfect, I do. I thrive to be perfect, but that's not achievable. It's not achievable. It's the truth. You really can't be perfect, but I try my best to be perfect. I try my best to get the best out of myself and get the best out of the people around me. But yeah, piggybacking off of the people around you, make sure you have a circle, a group of people, whatever you want to call it, who really want the best for yourself. I mean, the best for you, and you want the best for them. Don't hang around people who belittle you all the day. Don't hang around people who don't care about their life. And if they don't care about their life, they don't care about yours. Don't hang around people who just think that they're higher up than other individuals because they deeply believe that they're higher than you. You know what I'm saying? Don't hang around people who are going to be jealous when you come up on a little money and come up on a little career and they look with their hand out and you say no. Next thing you know, we watching you on the news. You know what I'm saying? And your mom and your family is sad because someone was jealous of you. That's the world we grow up in now, where someone's jealous of you because of what you got. You know, that's why you always got to have your head on a swivel. Like I said last episode, I wake up with the head on my swivel. When I wake up, I'm on it because you have no choice. In this world right now, you don't have no choice to be on all 10 and stand down. You don't have no choice. If you feel like, man, I'm going to take the day off. I'm going to be like, I ain't going to worry about nothing. You going to get caught. You going to get caught. And not saying that somebody wants what I want. I don't know. You never going to know. You see what I'm saying? You ain't never going to know, but really just being real, you just always gotta stay focused. You gotta be locked in because you gotta know. You never know who it can be. That's what I'm saying. Keep you a good group and a good circle around you. It can be your day one friend who crossed you and caused your demise. It can be somebody who you thought was the rawest person in the world and who really cared about you. Man, they'll rat on you or something like that. That's why I always say trust is it's iffy with me because I say I don't trust nobody, but of course I trust a close family, you know, my close family members. Of course I trust my close circle, right? But with caution, you know. Yeah, trust it's scary. It's scary to trust somebody because you don't know. The only person you can really trust is yourself, and even then it's a little iffy because you like, I want to go this way, but I'm making these bad decisions because you got duality in your head when you're dealing with certain aspects. You're dealing with, I want to be good, I want to be bad. And then this whole mental thing that has going on, and that ties to the psychological aspect what I was talking about. So yeah, I say get you some people around you who want better for themselves. And if they want better for themselves, they want better for you. Get some people who have a big future, who plan a big future and not just planning to lay around in the city that you in. Get a group of people who make you feel good and who don't belittle you a lot, because that matters. Don't get a group who does all of those bad things, because at the end of the day, it's gonna affect you. It's not gonna affect them. It doesn't affect the people who does it. It affects the recipient. So, like I say, you always gotta stay focused and watch the people you hang around. That's my spiel on that. Watch the people you hang around. And I definitely do that. You know what I'm saying? I have a close circle. You know what I'm saying? I have Cam and I have two other, females who I really keep close because, really deep down, they are my close friends. They are my circle, and we want better for each other. Even though it may not seem like that because we always joking a lot, and at some points we all want one goal for each other, and that's just to be straight in life. So I'm glad that I have at least 3 people, and even more who I can call, a close circle or a friend. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my little giving on that. You know what I'm saying? Just try to hang around people who want best for you. You know, kick it up to the next. Open. I'm gonna do a little open discussion, a little Q&A. I got some questions pulled up that is made by my brother Cameron, who's a co-host on here. What advice would I give to a younger teen or a younger individual under me? What advice would I give them? Stay true to yourself. Stay true to yourself and know that you gotta be the best version of yourself every day. Live every day like it's your last. Yeah, do that. If somebody younger than me, they're exposed to so much because of course they've had more access to something more than me. You know what I'm saying? You get 5-year-olds and they already on the internet and things of that nature. So I'll tell someone that is younger than me, stay true to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody tell you that you got to be a certain way. Don't let nobody, like we talking about peer pressure, don't let nobody peer pressure you. Do you. Do you. And do good. Do good for self and don't do bad to self or for self. Yeah, I also tell younger individuals to find a purpose and follow their dreams. Like we talked about last episode with purpose and dreams. That is so imperative. That's probably number one thing with me when you talk to me. If not, of course, I have Dreaming Life and Dreaming Talk that we're on right now, but it's so important. It's so important because we grow up in a world now to where we're presented with just strict things that we have to do in life. I think I did a little worksheet in my class when this was actually yesterday. You like fill out little careers or little quote unquote specifics that you like to do. And they had a little acronym that was like realistic jobs, such and such. I had 0 in realistic. And I don't feel like why does a mechanic or engineer has to be like a realistic job? I feel like all jobs should be realistic because everything is achievable. You just put your mind to it, you got it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a very creative individual, and I think it marked me as it was E, and I cannot remember what the E stood for. I'm gonna get back with y'all and get back to it. Those who's in there, y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I feel like all jobs are achievable. So, and it just ties to dreams and purposes. If you dream, I know. Whatever your dream is or was as a child, which was mine, I was glued to a TV, like I said. I was glued to TV 24/7. I love movies. I love TV. I love acting. Whatever that dream is as a child, it's still in you. And if you are higher in age, like in your adulthood, and you can't find that no more, just go find it. Trust me, it's there. I'm glad I caught mine early because, what I'm saying, I always wanted to do what my path was now. But like I said, I had a little stint where